Clint, I saw some of the stuff you had to make weapons in an office if somebody wanted to. I know I got your newspaper here. I got some duct tape. Well, it's not really the best kind of duct tape. I got a coin and a sock. Show us a few things on what someone can do to make a weapon for themselves.
Right. Quickly out of these, the first thing that come to mind is a newspaper bat. Now, the newspaper bat was actually made popular by hooligans that used to go to soccer games overseas. The security at soccer games overseas have become very, very good because those guys like to beat the shit out of each other when someone loses, right? So the security has learned to really actually pat people down, make sure no weapons are coming in. So what do these guys do? They start bringing newspapers. Because if you take 10 pages of a newspaper or more, and you open it up like so, and we're going to do this very quickly just for you here, and then you roll it diagonally, and the idea is to get as much air out of your future bat as possible. So we're going to start and we're going to get it nice and tight.
As much air out.
As much air out.
Okay.
All right, so we get it going. We're not doing a good job, but you get the point.
So they literally do this in Europe.
They used to do this in Europe. Now I'm pretty sure they don't even let newspapers in anymore because of this technique. And then you give it a good old fold. Now, if you happen to have, good old duct tape, what's great is it can hold it in place and increase its density for you. When we talk about, arms swinging, right? An arm swinging like a punch is usually like 25 miles per hour. As soon as you put something in your hand, depending on who you are, your strength, your flexibility, mobility in your joints, you can now get up to about 50 miles an hour with whether it's a newspaper bat like this, right? And to get hit, put your hand out, to get hit with something like that.
You totally feel it. Yeah, you actually feel it.
There's no joke, right?
Holy moly, you totally feel, you can hurt somebody with this.
Yeah, it certainly could knock somebody out, and it's just a newspaper. If you want to take it to the next level, roll quarters, these days it's rare to come by this stuff, right? Change has slowly gone away. Heck, cash is not even really available these days, right? We all carry cards and we pay for stuff with our phones. But number one, you can put it in your hand, increase density, helps increase velocity, just makes your punch have a little more, oomph to it. Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Or, once again, if you want to increase the velocity substantially, you throw it in a sock, and now you can really hurt someone. I mean, this is an improvised sap, really, at the end of the day. The beauty of this is if you're a traveler traveling abroad, it's always good to have change overseas because they're still taking change at tolls overseas, they're still taking change at parking meters. So it's good to have change, and a sock, you separate these two and you're not carrying a weapon, right? Bandana, also something you can carry, but if you were to take a fishing weight and place it in the center and then roll it up, an 8-ounce fishing weight is great, and
you're still gonna feel it, 8 ounce.
Oh, you're gonna feel it. 8 ounce is gonna knock someone out. So you have to be careful with any kind of improvised weapon, especially if you're playing around for fun, because let's face it, you just saw a newspaper can be dangerous enough to give someone a concussion, certainly knock them out. So, but if you're in a bind, they certainly could potentially save a life.
If you're in a bind.
If you're in a bind.
Taking a newspaper and turning it into a weapon. There you go.